expression of the 40 reverse, dependent origination is a reflection from effect, cause, focusing on the present moment without crossing over lifetimes, as follows. Nirvana is the result of the state of being free from suffering, which is the result of the cessation of suffering. Suffering ceases because of letting go, being able to live or die without affecting the mind, meaning the heart does not suffer and does not fear death. This is the result of the mind not moving outward and not counting the time of the mind in a new dwelling. This is the result of the mind not being attached to realms of existence, achieving letting go within those realms. Wherever the mind is or isn't, there is no effect on the heart. It does not suffer. This is the result of the absence of clinging to I and mine. This is the result of the mind being its craving for the 5 aggregates and the 8 worldly vicissitudes. This is the result of mindfulness being aware of feelings, whether pleasant, painful, or neutral. Which is the result of mindfulness being aware of sensory contact, which passes through the sense bases. This is the result of letting go of the 5 aggregates. This is the result of the mind not moving according to the conditioning force of thoughts. This is the result of mindfulness being aware of the mental formations that condition the mind. Because the mind has ended all doubts regarding anything in the world. This is the result of the complete cessation of mental outflows, leaving nothing behind. Which is the result of the mind being liberated from mental outflows. Which is the result of the mind fading away from lust for the 5 aggregates and the 8 worldly vicissitudes. Which is the result of the mind's disenchantment with the 5 aggregates and the 8 worldly vicissitudes. Which is the result of the mind gaining clear insight according to the reality of nature and the laws of nature. Realizing that the 5 aggregates and the 8 worldly vicissitudes are impermanent, suffering, and have no true self, leading to letting go. This is the result of using vipassana, meditation to contemplate the Dhamma on the foundation of samatha. Meditation, concentration, cutting away from lust for the 5 aggregates and the 8 worldly vicissitudes. Which is the result of tranquility of body and mind. This is the result of rapture. This is the result of gliding of the heart. This is the result of practicing the 8-fold path, which is morality, concentration, and wisdom by not harming oneself, others, or other beings through body, speech, and mind. This is the result of studying the teachings of the Buddha. This is the result of the faith that practicing the Buddha's teachings will truly lead to the end of suffering. This is the result of the suffering that overwhelms us, whether from the lack of the 4 requisite social desires or the craving to please, to have, or to be, stemming from mental outflows. This is the result of the time of the mind in the new dwelling beginning to decrease and run out. This is the result of the mind starting to count time in a new dwelling.
40 reverse conditions are the four noble truths in detail. Being the reverse of the 44 conditions. They are stated from effect back to cause. For the arising of one factor is the result of another factor. One nirvana is the result of the knowledge of destruction. Two, the knowledge of destruction is the result of the cessation of suffering. Three, the cessation of suffering is the result of the cessation of aging and death. Four, the cessation of aging and death is the result of reverse dependent originations, the cessation of suffering. Factors 29 to 40 are the inverse forward dependent origination, the cause of suffering. Factors 1 to 25 are the results of practicing the eightfold path. Nirvana is the result of Kayanyana. The knowledge stands all of the inner fire. Destruction of greed and the roots of drama. To quench every spark of the worldly desire. Nirvana is the result of Kayana. The knowledge stands all of the inner fire. Destruction of greed and the roots of drama. To quench every spark of the worldly desire. The knowledge of destruction is the result of the cessation of suffering. When all the fires of greed and pain are buffering, the mind finds peace and stops its heavy struggling. No more the waves of sorrow keep on doubling, the fading out of physical distress and woe. When mental burdens let their heavy shadows go, the stream of craving ceases in its restless flow. Silent wisdom starts within the heart to grow. The state of Kayanana shines so bright. cessation of suffering is the result of the cessation of aging and death's insult. When time recedes and the life force grows pale, the mind remains steady beyond the dark veil. Moments diminish and days fade away. The aging of form has no power to sway. The lifetime is lessening, shrinking in size. The soul sees the truth with its internal eyes. No heavy attachment to breathe or to despair are no longer being sown. When death is approaching to claim what was left, the heart is at peace for its cravings are spent. The ending of life brings no shadow of fear. The clock may run down and the pulses may cease, but deep in the center is infinite peace. The body may wither and finally fall, but mind stays unmoving, transcending it all. No sickness of spirit, no ache in the soul, for letting go truly has made the heart whole. The flame is extinguished, the longing is dry. In silence and stillness the sorrows all die. The cessation of aging and death is the result of the cessation of birth. When the seed of self is no longer sown, the cycle of existence loses its worth. No more becoming to be called one's own. The seeds of future pains are never grown. The mind stops counting time and dwellings new, no longer seeking homes in realms of thought. It lets go of the forms and every view. The web of being is no longer wrought, and phantom chains of me are never cut. When birth is still, the ticking clock shall fade. stillness of a free, clear mind. To live or die, it matters not at all. The heart remains unmoved by loss or gain, no longer trapped behind the ego's wall. Beyond the reach of sorrow or pain, where death and birth can never rule The cessation of birth is the result of the cessation of becoming existence. When the mind stops its restless wild consult, soul finds peace in a silent subsistence. No more forging of self in the deep, no more shadows for karma to keep. A new dwelling the mind does not count. Time is frozen, no longer a master. Every wall that the ego would mount falls away from a looming disaster. When the spirit lets go of the place, birth dissolves into infinite space. When staying or leaving the room, there is neither a here nor a there. No attachment can wither or bloom in a heart that is light as the air. Where you are has no power to bind. When the place is no longer defined, the becoming is quenched at the root. So the birth has no soil to grow. With no seed, there can never be fruit, and no tide in the heart's ebb and flow. Pure stillness is all that remains, free at last from the cycle of change. The cessation of coming is the result of the cessation of clinging. When mine and myself are no longer the weight, the heart finds its freedom, escaping the gate of endless conditions and cycles of fate. The mind may abide in a house or the wild, no longer by places or spaces beguiled. It rests in the void like a spirit unsoiled from shadows of being. It is now uncoiled. Five aggregates function as nature's own flow. Eight worldly conditions may come and may go, like wind through the canyon. They breeze high and low, but seeds of the self have no center to grow. of clinging is the result of the cessation of craving. When the hunger for more starts to fade and die, the heavy grip on self begins to loosen its tie. As we stop chasing shadows under a cloudless sky, no more me or mine. In the fight by brigades we find, when the whirling winds blow, the heart stays behind. Just a natural process, no longer confined. A peaceful observer with a clear, steady mind. Greed, anger, and delusion are the roots of the flame, fueling the desire for glory, status, or fame. When craving is quenched, we no longer play the game. Seeing through the illusion, the soul is not the same. The mind release from the weight of its own hand, like riding in water, not carved in the sand. With the ending of thirst, we finally understand. To let go is to wake, and in freedom we stand. As we stop chasing shadows under a cloudless sky, no more me or mine. In the fight like brigades we find, when the whirling winds blow, the heart stays behind. Just a natural process, no longer confined. A peaceful observer with a clear, steady mind. Greed, anger, and delusion are the roots of the flame, fueling the desire for glory, status, or fame. When craving is quenched, we no longer play the game. Seeing through the illusion, the soul is not the same. The cessation of craving is the result of the cessation of feeling. When the mind stops its wandering and its endless, restless reeling. As the heart finds its center and the truth begins its healing. No more grasping at shadows of the world's deceptive dealing. When a pleasant sensation or joy starts to softly arise, you see it clearly as nature with your steady and mindful eyes. It is merely a feeling, not a self that the ego prizes. Just a ripple on water that eventually fades and dies. Nor a person, neither mine nor a living soul. Letting go of the pleasure and the pain that we can't control. Seeing objects as empty is the path to the final goal, where the fragments of longing are returned to a silent home. When the feeling is just
soul and the fire of thirst will depart. With no fuel for the craving in the depths of a quiet heart. Every link in the sequence is now torn and is pulled apart. In the stillness of freedom where the ends of all suffering start. The cessation of feeling is the result of the cessation of contact. When the senses meet the world, the spark of feeling is soon intact. But if the mind remains detached, no burning fire will ever just let go of the chain of pain will surely crack. No longer trapped in joy or grief, the shifting tides of pleasant or blue. We let the envy fade away, the clinging thirst that we once knew. When delight loses release, the spirit finds a vision too. The heavy weight of feelings bind is washed away like morning dew. The eye, the ear, the mind itself may touch the forms and sounds outside. But if we let the contact pass like leaves upon a gentle tide, no lingering taste or haunting ghost within the heart will then reside. For in the space of letting go, the restless soul has nowhere to hide. The ending of the touch we feel brings silence to the inner scream, awakening the sleeping mind from life's chaotic drifting dream. By dropping hold of every strike, we cross the flow of sorrow stream and find the stillness in the light, where truth and peace forever gleam. The cessation of the six sense bases is the result of the cessation of name and form as truth is told above. When I and mine are stripped away from body and the mind, the inner gates begin to close, no longer misaligned. The eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body and the thought. Release the weary, heavy chains that ignorance has wrought. The bridges to the outer world no longer crave the light, for wisdom stills the restless soul and grants a clearer sight. When fivefold aggregates are seen as nothing more than flow, a mere appearance in the stream with nowhere else to go, the form is but a passing cloud, the feeling but a breeze, the memory and mental will are brought to final ease. To let them be as just they are without a grasping hand is how the heart finds solid ground upon the shifting sand. When name and form are recognized as hollow and as fleet, the cycle of the suffering heart is rendered now complete. With mindfulness as watchful guard at every open door, the sparks of longing fail to strike and burn the spirit's floor. No longer building visions up or chasing after sound, the seeker finds the middle way where stillness can be found. To know the source of every sense is anchored in the name, is how one doses out the heat of every burning flame. By letting go of every self within the name and form, the mind finds peace within the eye of every rising The sixfold phases rest in peace, their labors at an end, with nothing left to manifest and nothing to defend. The fruit of deep awareness shines a quiet, holy glow, relinquishing the heavy seeds that ego used to sow. When Namarupa fades away and leaves the spirit free, the senses find their quietude in vast eternity. The cessation of name and form is the result of consciousness. When the wild mind weathers the storm and finds its path to emptiness, when knowing stops its restless flight, the shadows fade within the mind, no longer blinded by the light. The heavy chains are left behind.
nothing more. No longer diving in the deep or washing up upon the shore. Name and form begin to subside as illusions start to decay, with nowhere left for souls to hide. The ancient masks all fall away. The mind remains in steady poise and will not move with mental wind. Amidst the spinning worldly noise, the roots of craving are unpenned. No drifting with the surging tide, a thought-born force in weary schemes, with nowhere left for self to ride. We wake up from the world of dreams. With mindful grace, the truth is caught. To know the thought is just a spark. The end of every drifting thought that used to pull us through the dark. When consciousness is stilled and clear, the cycle finds its final rest, released from every doubt and fear. The silent heart is truly blessed. The cessation of consciousness through the result of formations ending too. When will and intent no longer we, the restless mind finds its soft reprieve. No seeds are sown in the furrow
conscious presence of the mental sway. The Four Noble Truths are seen so clear. The path is found in the silent heart. No doubt remains, no longing and no fear. As conscious presence holds the mental sway, the Four Noble Truths are seen so clear. The path is found within the silent heart. No doubt remains, no longing and no fear. From lonely webs the spirit stands apart. When greed and longing find no more room above, the soul is freed from all its ancient fetters and drama. The mind returns to its true and primal state, unbound by shadows or the weight of former years. No longer drifting through the tides of dark fate, the heart finds peace beyond the valley of its fears. When noble truths are seen with a gaze so clear, the four great pillars stand in the light of the day. The fourfold path dissolves every doubt and every fear, as clouds of confusion are forever swept away. No lingering questions remain within the deep, for wisdom has woken from its long and heavy rest. The secrets of the spirit are no longer hard to keep. Fulfilled is the seeker in this final holy quest. This brightness dawns from a spirit bright and gold, a radiant sun that breaks through the heavy night. The stains of the ego can no longer take their hold, for the inner vision is bathed in pure steady light. The murk of the world is scattered by the flame of a mind that is steady, unmoving and serene. Beyond every form and beyond every worldly name, the truth of existence is finally clearly seen. When every canker has withered at the core, and mental taints have crumbled into the dust, the cycle of spinning shall trouble the heart no more. Dissolved are the chains of craving and of lust. The light of the Dhamma is all that will remain, a silent ocean where the waves of sorrow cease. Broken is the link and shattered is the chain, in the timeless stillness of an everlasting peace. sensation of defilement is the result of immunity, the liberation where peace and stillness now exalt. The heart is free from ancient stain, broken is the karmic chain when mind is detached from flame. The five aggregates lose their hold. Dispassion quenches every flame, and wisdom's clarity unfolds. No longer bound by sense or form, safe within the silent storm. The eight worldly winds cease to blow. Seas and rainbow fade into air. Loss and gain, or high and low, can no longer breathe deep despair. The soul retreats from worldly strife, finding the source of noble life. For all is fleeting, bound to change. Void of a self to claim or keep, beyond the ego's narrow range, where truth is vast and silence deep. As oneness shines in every breath, free from the cycle, life and death. Defy aggregates lose their hold. Dispassion quenches every flame, as wisdom's clarity unfolds. No longer bound by sense or form, safe within the silent storm. The eight worldly winds cease to blow. Praise and blame both fade into air. Loss and gain, or high and low, can no longer breathe deep despair. The soul retreats from worldly strife, finding the source of noble life. For all is fleeting, bound to change. Void of self to claim or keep, beyond the ego's narrow range, where truth is vast and silence deep. As oneness shines in every breath, free from the cycle, life and death. Liberation is the result of dispassion, freeing the mind from all heavy worldly chains. The five aggregates and eight worldly passion is the result of disenchantment. Through wisdom's eye, the truth is clearly shown. The fire that aggregates face a swift descent. As seeds of deep detachment now are sown. They forms a mad adrift and then they fade. No lasting essence in their shifting light. The mind perceives a trap that has been laid and turns away from shadows of the night. The soul grows weary of the constant change. For what is fleeting brings a hidden sting. In realms of form, the world feels cold and strange. To transient shapes, the heart no more will cling. Beneath the mask, the self begins to die. As living up dissolves the ancient side. No longer bound by what is born to lie. The mind descends where truth and peace reside. Behold the suffering in the grasping hand. The fivefold heap is but a passing guest. By seeing laws that rule this weary land, the seeking spirit finds its final rest. Aversion fades into a calm release. Not hate or sorrow, but a cooling flame. As it roars and restless craving cease, the silent heart forgets its former name. The rabbit blooms when heavy burdens fall. The grip of lust and longing starts to break. From heavy chains the mind escapes them all, to find the peace that follows the awake. The eightfold forms no longer hold the sway. The light of non-self guides the path ahead. In perfect still, the shadows melt away, and by the truth, the liberated are led. Disenchantment is the result of the knowledge and vision of things as they truly are. The light of truth shines from high above. The mind perceives each bright and fading sky.
to fall. The flagging frigates and the full form are seen as pebbles on a moving stream within the calm or through a raging storm. They are but fragments of a fleeting dream. The forlorn truth revealed the deep way. The lonely channels, the earth and sky, in constant realms of night and light of day, are born to change, then wither and then die. The vagrant marks of life are clearly shown. All is unstable, bound by hidden pain. No self or soul to claim as one's own. Just cause and effect in a ceaseless chain. Weekends as they are understood, the grip of craving starts to lose its hold. Beyond the labels of the bad and good, the ancient laws of life and death unfold. The weary mind begins to turn away from hollow shells and shapes it used to prize. No longer lost, no longer led astray, as Nebida begins to slowly rise.
Concentration is the result, happiness. When the heart is bright and the mind is free from tranquil body and the soul at peace. All restless wandering and burden cease. Deep stillness grows from a calm, joyful state. A steady focus that will not fade. When inner bliss begins to overflow, the roots of Samatha will start to grow. Upon this space of firm and quiet mind, Vipassana leaves all the clouds behind. To see the truth, the Dharma's hidden law, with crystal vision and without a flaw. From calm to joy, then focus, strength takes flight to spark the flame of pure and holy light. Through clear reflection on the way things are, the soul finds peace, a bright and guiding star. Upon this space of firm and quiet mind, Vipassana leaves all the clouds behind. To see the truth, the Dharma's hidden law, with crystal vision and without a Happiness is the result of tranquility, a calm within that sets the spirit free. When restless fires of desire cease to burn, a peaceful heart is what we truly learn. One kind of joy is born from heated greed, a fleeting taste that plants a thirsty seed, like burning flames that flicker in the night. It masks the truth and dims the inner light. But deeper bliss arises from the still, a quiet mind that moves with steady will. When body rests and weary thoughts subside, repose the seeds of wisdom sown. No shadows cast, no burdens weigh us down. We wear the silence as if a crown. No longer lost, where heavy sorrows drown. The quiet mind transcends the busy Indeed repose the seeds of wisdom
Rapture is the result of joy. The heart is bright and clear like the morning sky. Through eightfold path we learn the way to be. From noble truths that set the spirit free. With precepts, wisdom, and the mind so still, we train the heart and strengthen every will. Refraining from all harm in word and deed. Sowing the peace instead of anger's seed. From the harmony a gentle joy takes root. It's cheerful bliss, the spirit's early fruit. No guilt remains to cloud the inner light. The soul is dancing, radiant and bright. This lightness grows into a flood of grace, a deep delight that fills the inner space. When self and others live in harmony, the heart finds peace into serenity. From the harmony a gentle joy takes root. It's cheerful bliss, the spirit's early fruit. No guilt remains to cloud the inner light. The soul is dancing, radiant and bright. This lightness grows into a flood of grace, a deep delight that fills the inner space. When self and others live in harmony, the heart finds peace into serenity. Joy is the result of practice, clear the mind. Set the heavy spirit free. Rightly it solves the basic poverty. For it's my ending physical misery. Right action, speech it, living combined. Hear the social things that burn the mind. When human bonds are noble and refining, and mediate woes are left behind. Right effort, mindfulness, and view so bright. Social desires may pull the heart away. Never suffered, clouds the human mind. But samadhi keeps restless thoughts at bay. To stay composed and leave the stress behind. Social desires may pull the heart away. Never suffering, clouds the human mind. But samadhi keeps restless thoughts at bay. To stay composed and leave the stress behind. Deep roots of craving hidden in the soul. Our Patiloma, seeing change is real. The evil part now makes the spirit whole. As Paccayakara turns to what we Study histories of the fourfold faith, which guides the soul and keeps the spirit safe. We trust in karma and the seeds we sow, that every action makes our future grow. We see the fruits that follow every deed, the harvest coming from a tiny seed. Each living being owns the path they tread. By ancient laws of karma, we are led. The Buddha's wisdom shines a holy light, enlightening truth that vanishes the night. We trust his words and seek to understand, to reach the peace within a higher The sacred gate provides the only way to end the grief and keep the dark at bay. When study leads to practice deep and true, the end of suffering begins for you. The Buddha's wisdom shines a holy light, enlightening truth that vanishes the night. We trust his words and seek to understand, to reach the peace within a higher The fourfold faith is the result of suffering, a heavy heart that seeks a way to break free. When sorrow burns and life is deeply troubling, we search for light to end this misery. The crushing weight of pain becomes the driving force to find again a path beyond the strife. Through endless tides we seek a steady course to heal the wounds and change a broken life. Then comes the light, the Buddha's holy vision. The fourfold faith reveals the hidden door, with clear resolve and wisdom.
is caught. From birth to when the cycle remains true. The death of focus and the never plot. As all worlds wait to make a way for you. is the result of clinging. Where the mind dwells, there a realm will arise. Bound by the self through a deep self-deceiving. The spirit is trapped where the ego now lies. When watching a play or a film on the screen, the mind drifts away to reside in the role, creating a world that is felt but unseen. Sub-realms are formed to imprison the soul. Attached to the fine heat, so worldly affairs. A sub-realm expands as the seconds tick by, becoming his birth through the mind's subtle snares, until the great presence returns to the eye. Once mindfulness wakes, then the sub-realms fall, aging in death on the world left behind. Sudden pain at the cost of it all. The cycle of birth from the clinging of mind. Clinging is the result of craving. When lust for pleasure starts its burning way. If bliss is felt, we thirst for more behaving. As Patiloma seeking what we crave. If pain arises, we would rather flee. In Baba, we wish for things to die. But if deluded by a blind decree, in Nadi's joy, we let the moments fly. To guard that mood, we want no interference. Break out antenna grows within the mind. We push and pull with stubborn perseverance, until the self is all we seek to Feel the ego starts to rise. Madonna grips the me and mine. The soul is trapped within this dark disguise. We're craving, and the clinging soul entwined. To guard that mood, we want no interference. We cannot stand the grows within the mind. We push and pull with stubborn perseverance, until the self is all we seek to find.
Craving is the result of feeling. When pleasure comes, we're kneeling for more. A sweet sensation, a heart that's healing. We chase the ghost and we guard the door. When pain arrives with a bitter sting, we push away what we do not choose. In neutral states where the mind is still, delight and peace can become a snare to keep the calm with a stubborn will and block out all who would interfere. These three sensations of feeling space, the joy, the grief, and the quiet flow. To know their root is to find a space where craving dies and the soul can grow. In neutral states where the mind is still, delight and peace can become a snare to keep the calm with a stubborn will and block out all who would interfere. These three sensations of feeling space, the joy, the grief, and the quiet flow. To know their root is to find a space where craving dies and the soul can grow. Feeling is the result of contact from parts impact and then unite. Sense the object and the mind, awaken sensing day or night. When I meet form, or you meet sound, the spark of knowing starts to glow. From touch and taste to inner thought, the seeds of feeling start to grow. It flows as pleasure, pain, or calm, a neutral shift or joyful sleep. Delight or man divides the heart in waves of passion vast and deep. The hidden chain of cause and woe, through portal sits the world alive. To know the touch is to be free from all the cycles of our lives. It flows as pleasure, pain, or calm, a neutral shift or joyful sleep. Delight or man divides the heart in waves of passion vast and deep. The hidden chain of cause and woe, through portal six the world arrives. To know the touch is to be free from all the cycles of our lives. Contact is the result of the six sense spaces, through inner gates that meet the outer seams. Internal tools evolve to match their spaces, connecting words with all the functional means. Though even thoughts may seem to drift and fade, they flash to life like ghosts that take their form. In sudden birth, the old Paccayakara is made, a mental spark within the silence. of life's long trail. When mind and body start to take a steady blow, the doors of sensing open up without a fail. From first descent of consciousness to physical mode, the seed of life begins to hold its shape and place. The mental states and matter start to now unfold to build a framework of our human inner space. The eyes and ears, the nose and tongue, the skin and mind are developed and refined through causes deep. As name and form become more strictly intertwined, the sixfold channels from their silent slumber lead to see and hear, to smell and taste, to feel and know. This complex system starts to grow and reach its peak, because the root of mind and matter started low. The perfect sense buzzes can find the truth they seek. The eyes and ears, the nose and tongue, the skin and mind are developed and refined through causes deep. As name and form become more strictly intertwined, the sixfold channels from their silent slumber lead to see and hear, to smell and taste, to feel and know. This complex system starts to grow and reach its peak, because the root of mind and matter started low. The perfect sense phases can find the truth they seek. Name and form is the result of consciousness, driven by the force of thought's own restlessness. When ignorance clouds the mind with dark distress, the spirit wanders seeking worldliness. The wheel begins through lack of mindful sight, as mental formations stir within in light. The mind that moves to grasp what seems so bright, and links itself within the idea's light. Foolishness is the result of ancient formations. When the mind lacks a clear insight, it drifts through dark inclinations. Ignorance veils the Four Noble Truths, leading the heart to deep confusion, straying away from the path of light, lost in a web of pure illusion. The shifting balls begin to stir, fueling the fire of mental schemes. They sucker across the world, dressing the soul in waking dreams. The mind then moves to catch debate, chasing the forms that need has created. Conscious nothingness to every sense, by beard and mentors to In every blink, a world is born, without a need for birth or dying. A single lapse of mindful breath sends the unsettled spirit flying. Because we do not see the cause, the restless mind will seek a station, driven by force of old habits, trapped in a cycle of vibration. Awaken now to see the truth, to break the bond of mental weaving. When avijah is cast aside, the heart will stop its tired grieving. The sankara will lose its power when steady sati holds the door. The moving light shall find its peace, and drifting shadows Formations is the result of ignorance, a mind obscured like in the inner sight. The Four Noble Truths stay in distance, lost in the dark, away from home.